Okay, so I'm going to teach you. So welcome back, students. This is a lesson on factorizing and solving what we call composite quadratics. So we'll start off with the first example, which is a plus and a plus. Okay, we set it to 0 so we can solve it later. Okay, so what we're looking at here is straight away it's x squared. So the assumption is this will have multiplied out like this. So what I'm writing right now is what I would call your scaffold. You know this is correct. Okay, you know all I need to do is get two numbers that go in here. Now when we multiply these out, the two numbers that go here multiply to 33, and they will add, because of if we had thought about FOIL or any other method, they will have added to 14. So the name of the game, you can look at it from either side, but this one is often handier, is to find two numbers that multiply to 33 and that add to 14. Now number theory and using a calculator to factor, because they can get a little bit more difficult, is that we all know 3 11s is 33, but you want to put 33 into your calculator, having turned it on. Okay, and you want to factorize it, format, factorize. Very important, okay, because the numbers will get bigger. And we have 3 11s. Our check is that 3 plus 11 is indeed equal to this 14 here. So we're happy with that. And our 3 and 11 go in. And we set that equal to 0. So this and this are effectively the exact same thing. They have the same values for any number you put in, and they have the same graphs. So next thing we do is we go, well, how do two numbers multiply together to get 0? And it is that x plus 3 equals 0 or x plus 11 equals 0. And then we solve these, which is isolate x. And we can just say the word or here, x equal to minus 3 or minus 11. Okay? But now if we look back up, we say really, once we've got it factored and it's monic, we just change the plus factor. It's a plus factor. And we change the plus factor to a minus root. Plus factor turns into minus root and vice versa, as we'll see later. Okay, that was a nice easy one. We go to a very, very small change on that. We go to j, x squared minus 13x plus 22. Okay, now we still have, I want to just talk to you about this plus. We could have done it here too. The plus here, we could immediately say both signs are the same. And they're not just the same, they're both signs are positive. Boom, boom. Okay? Here, both signs are the same, they're both negative. Okay? And it's completely different if the plus and the minus swap. Both signs are the same, they're both negative. So we get our skeleton down, it's x minus, x minus. Now don't let that freak you out, there's only one minus there, there's two minus here. That's perfectly good, that's the way it works. Two numbers multiply to 22 or 11 and 2. And you just write them beside each other like this. We are adding them because of this plus, because we're getting plus, and we're getting 13. We like that because that number there is 13. And you put 2 and 13 equals 0. X equals 2 or 13. Questions finished. Now you could graph it, which I might as well show you. So when you're graphing, you can always do this. Now the question is, where's the y-axis? We'll come to that in a second. Put your 2 and your 3 in order. Now when it comes to where is the y-axis, you move in this direction a lot because these are both the same sign. So you move in this minus direction a lot and you get to here. And this is a sketch, so no one's getting out a measuring tape. And that number there is 22. More about that later. That's one thing. Okay, now we want a mixed sign, a negative end. We could do that in the calculator, it would work out fine, but it's going to confuse people a little bit. So we'll do n here, which is x squared plus 4x minus 21. Okay. Now let's think for a second. How are we getting a minus? We're getting a minus because the signs of the factors are mixed. Okay, the signs of the factors are mixed, meaning one positive and one negative. But there's another little telltale sign here. It's what about this plus? Does it tell us anything? Yes, so let's put down mixed first. There's an x plus and there's an x minus, okay? But now let's say this plus means the plus wins when it comes to adding them. There's a plus and a minus, and it's after you've subtracted, it's still plus, which means the big one is plus. Now think about where this came from. This gave us mixed, minus means mixed, minus means mixed. Mixed what? Mixed sign. Okay, so straight away we know it's plus minus, but we know more than that. We know the big number, if we just took natural numbers, has to go into the plus one. When that goes minus, we'll be making a big huge minus. We'll be doing that in a second. Okay, so 3, 7 is 21. Even if you don't know your tables at all, you've got your calculator, you get 7 3s, right? So you get 7, and the name of the game, by the way, as well as this telling you you're mixed, you're telling you if you work with natural numbers, not integers. If you take two numbers, then we want to subtract small from big to get 4. That's all like, are we on target? Okay, and then you say, okay, now back to my numbers. There's 7 and 3, which is the big one. This one, it goes here. Okay, because we don't have to reverse this as we do it in negative. So the 7 goes there, the 3 goes there. You solve it with x equals -7. See how quick this is, or just or here, 3. You do a shallow smile. Don't be too smiley now. Don't be too happy. Come up a little bit for your x-axis. It's just a sketch. Okay. The -7 certainly wants to be on the left, and the 3 definitely wants to be on the right. Put your pen, what you call, bang in the middle, and look to this, which says go a little bit. That's negative. Okay. Look to this, which says go plus. But this time, because they're mixed, we're not going out of the zone. We're staying inside we're staying inside the zone. Just move it a bit and pop it there. That way then this makes sense that this is longer than this. And this here is -21, and you've done a lovely sketch of your graph. Okay, so motoring on. You can pause whenever you want. You're watching a video. Okay, and we're going to make this negative and this negative. And that'll be it. That'll be all possible cases for monic quadratics. So we're looking for a minus here. There's one here. X squared minus 6x minus 55. Okay, so mixed, a plus and a minus. What goes first doesn't matter. Okay, let's make one of them dominate. So we'd say, hey, this one is the one we're going to put the number into first. We're going to put the big number in here. Okay, 11 and 5. And the name of the game is subtraction. If we're doing our juggling, do we have the right numbers? 11 take away 5 is 6. We're happy. Okay, so now take the bigger number and put it into the dominant sign. Set that to naught because Dale have said factor it first, then solve it equal to naught. X equals, factor is positive, we go negative. Or negative, we go positive. These are the roots, just to get your words. These are the factors. This is the original expanded form. And if you're expanding and multiplying out brackets, you're going the other way. And minus means 11. Minus is this side. Plus is this side. X-axis. Okay, whereas we're putting our y-axis, put your pen in the middle, move negative a bit. Okay, the minus means move a bit, don't move all the way out here, which this would be plus, because this would be plus out here. See that? This is plus out here, this is plus here, but this is minus here. Okay, it's so cool, isn't it? So you're here and you're going minus a bit, there. That's my y-axis. This number here is minus 55. Don't worry about the scale, because we're not doing scale, we're just doing sketch. And you got your key points here on your critical points. Okay, just for fun, we do something crazy, like this one, x squared plus 268x, just crazy question. None of us know what the factors of this are. We're expecting a bit of fun when we go to our calculator. Okay, so we go 17947 equals prime factors. There's something going on here. 131 and 137. 268. Holy cow. Okay, so it's an x plus 131 because the skeleton wanted x plus 137 equals no minus 131. or minus 137, etc. One more bit of fun for us there. We won't do both types. We'll do this one, 416021. X squared, actually we'll do the other one, 2x. So before we even head into this, I see it's a negative end. Okay, it's a negative end, so I know the two numbers are 2 apart. And we see that straight away when we factor this. Okay, and if we don't, this is minus b formula. Okay? By the way, the minus b formula will always work when it's negative, but not when it's positive. The reason is, if you have this fellow here and they're saying negative, there's always 2 roots. Whereas if you have this fellow here and they're saying positive here, there is a possibility that there's no roots and it's into complex numbers. But when there's a minus here, there's always roots, but it just might have to use the minus b formula. Okay, but they'll always say to 2 decimal places if you are. So if they don't say to 2 decimal places, you're not using the formula because this is quicker. Okay, you can, but it's slower. It'll almost always be slower. There is an exception when the numbers are just crazy like here, but or they're decimal numbers. There are some exceptions. Okay, so 10403, what do I want to do? I want to factor it. And I'm expecting now to be a kind of an Easter egg in here, a nice sort of, oh, somebody did, oh, look at that, 101, 103. Okay, somebody's up to something. 103 is the big one, 102 is the small, 101 is the small one. Look at that, they subtract, we're happy. Okay, we're mixed with a dominant minus. I might actually, no, we're mixed with a dominant plus. So I'll actually take that into account as I start writing. We're mixed with a dominant or a bigger plus. And we have a minus here, normal minus here. Minus, big 103, small 101. X equals 0, x equals minus 103 or 101. How's that for maths? So as always, students, I will see you in the next one.